I've been looking a lot at different types of zines these days and found this one in the Classic Zines. It's called The Rag, and it's got a surprise appearance to me by a very, very special contributor. Let's take a look. And hello, everyone. It's Tom. It's FANZine Live, and today is the Classic Zine discussion. We are going to take a look at a zine called The Rag, a vehicle for self-expression. I'm sorry, The Rag, a vehicle for self-expression. Issue number 2. I do not believe I have issue number 1. It is September, and I believe it's 1987. It was a free book for 20 pages. It is a saddle stitched 11 by 17 folded over, so it's 8.5 by 11 magazine size. Stapling is a little odd. I don't know if you can see this, but it kind of is stapled at angles. Suggests that perhaps maybe our friends at the Rag didn't have the most sophisticated system of stapling. And you can see it says here, HEP 87. So we're talking about September of 87. As a preface to discussing the Rag, I will let you know that I've been spending a lot of time recently taking a look at different types of zines. I come out of the comic or sequential art zine universe, if you will, and there we are interested in cartooning. We are interested in sequential art storytelling, a la Scott McCloud's Understanding Comics. And because of my age and because of the influences that I had at my age, I'm really interested in like superhero, adventure, dramatic type stuff. A little bit of humor, but largely that. This really is a different type of zine entirely. Some zines do the comic strip thing, some don't. This one does not, by and large. It is a text zine, almost a literary type zine, where you're going to see a lot of articles, a lot of poetry. You're going to see that type of stuff. You're going to see some spot illustrations. You're going to see a strip or two. But by and large, that's what we're going to see in this. And there are a lot of zines that are like that, especially these days. The stuff I'm seeing, especially as I scroll through YouTube, largely people are doing more text than they're doing any cartooning. They're usually not using such a large size, but that's basically what we're seeing a lot of these days. So could we say perhaps that the Rag, this vehicle for self-expression, actually was a little bit of a trendsetter in its way? Perhaps. I think it definitely comes from a different tree, if you will, of influences than what I have. And as you can see, we are looking at the zine model, and this is a very handmade type of thing. Different text, different typesetting. So the typewriter here is different than the typewriter here. This and this and this are the same. This, maybe this are the same. But then you've got some real simple cartoons. You've got a lot of handwritten stuff. Kind of interesting. And It says here, hello, howdy. This is a variety of opinions. The Rag notes. Hello, howdy. Hi, welcome to the second issue of the Rag. As you can tell, I'm pretty excited about the whole thing. But first, lest I forget, a bunch of thank yous are in order. And then he goes through about covers, artwork, editorial advice, delivery service, help, proofreading, much needed typing, and just being there. And then this hits me. Matt Kanarakis for breaking the comic strip speed barrier. Matt is for those who don't know, he is the guy that I worked with on so many things back in the 80s when I was doing Phoenix Productions back then. He was doing Synapse Comics back then. And basically, he did, let's see if I can find some of the stuff that we did together. He did a light issue. Nope, not this one. He did this one. Let's find a nice one. So he did this, which was kind of cool. And we did a lot of stuff together. We were in the United Fanzine organization together. He also did this cover recently. So this is Heroes Past, which of course is available on Amazon and at the Gumroad store. But anyway, so Matt's in this, and I'm like, wow, Matt's in this? And got to take a look and find out what he did. So, tons of text in this. I'm not going to be able to read it all to you, but they do have a nice editorial policy. It says, as our covers reiterate, it's a vehicle for self-expression. Our goal, simply stated, is to provide a forum for teenagers to freely express and publish their ideas, drawings, and writing without interference or censorship, and to provide some good reading. Does not take sides on issues, but would like to expose the reader to as many legitimate points of view as possible and let him make up his own mind. Ditto on literature. We present a variety of ways of looking at life, both positive and negative. As a result, the notion that all perspectives can enrich a reader's understanding of the world. That's actually kind of cool. So this is a teenager-driven thing. Matt was a high schooler back in 1987, as was I. And so these are his contemporaries, probably from his high school. Starting with helping the poor and homeless, alternatives to theft, and talking about how the government could perhaps work more effectively and charities could work more effectively. Some letters to the editor, some cute pieces of illustration. Words of wisdom for the day. Mathematics is difficult, even for the mathematicians, by the professor. Opinions. Itty for president. Statements of fact. Number 2 in a series. And so that's another one. More on the editorials. So this stuff is really chopped up, and it doesn't even tell you. Oh, it says here, like, the editorial policy continued on page 4, which is, of course, here. Let's set the record straight. So we've got some more letters. The fantasy page. So you've got some poetry mixed in with some spot illustrations. I do like the dragon one there. And then there were 3, number 2 in a series. So this is another piece that was written about fantasy, of course. Then you got a ton of poetry with spot illustrations mixing in. A little short story. Kind of cool. And then we hit this. Matt Kanarakis drew The Legend of the Ant Farm. And I'm going to read this one to you because there's only 2 pages, and why not? Matt's a friend. Somewhere in the Midwest, you have an ant on a throne, I guess, or maybe on a front porch. Oh there, boy, what in tarnation happened to yez? Hi, Gramps. The guys at school beat me up. They called me an ant hick. Oh, I see, son. Grandpa, what'd they mean? Why do they hate me so much? Well, son, I'm afraid it's a little thing called prejudice. These local yokel ants are confused by us. We come from a different background, you see, a different heritage, you might say. Huh? What kind of background? I think it's time I told you. It's The Legend of the Ant Farm. That is a hand-done title. Matt was so talented. Still is. What do you mean, Grandpa? I never heard of any ant farms. You see, son, our line goes back to when we were treated like caged ignorance. And indeed, this lessened our mentality. Treat a race like dirt and they become it. So this is Ant Farm, Amy Grant, grade 6. But there were always a few, yes, a few, that stood up against their oppression. Strong ants that wanted action. Damn it, Maddie, we were born and we must be set free. Are we paying for some crime we did not commit? Are we prisoners because we were born of prisoners? Where does it all begin? Where does it all end? Oh, Adam, the way you talk, you're so right. Something must be done. Yes, Adam was a born leader, and it was soon that he raised a group of young ants together, those with the courage and the might to break their conditioning, to finally free themselves and be their own people. Thus was born Adam and his men. These ants tried to rally other ants into a war party. Every few darkness cycles, some food would be delivered by the ants' jailers, and to do that, the jailers opened up the sky dome. Adam figured that they could scale up the space walls, and when the sky was open, make good on their escape. I tell you, of course, a few of our numbers shall be lost, but such are the prices of freedom. Nah, too risky. No way. To the ant lions with you, then. Come along, men. But there was one ant who showed an interest. What is all this? Are we not ants? Have you forgotten the stories of the wild frontiers? Where is the red under your skin? Have you lost your spirit? Mumble, grumble, mumble. But this did not stop Adam. His courage and his fervor for freedom were unrelenting. I like the little design here. But what of defense, Adam? Surely we need a defense. I'm sorry, Dexter. We're not enough men for any formal defense. Remember the old saying? The best defense is a good offense. Now let's get to work. We've got an invasion to plan. Soon. Time to feed the ants. Ack! And they jump out. And they're all over her face. I love the background lines cutting behind the panels. Neat touch. Whap, splat. Ugh. Whew, they're all dead. Better check if there are any more. But geez, Gramps, with Adam dead, how did the other ants ever get out? Well, Sonny, that's where good old Ant Farm heart comes in. It was the unnamed ant that earlier reminded the colony what they were. Frontier ants. Huh? For Adam, for freedom. Heck no, help. Wow. Yep, and so it was that though Adam and his men died for their cause, it did not go unseen. The colony, our colony, I should say, followed his lead, his inspiration, and fought for what was theirs. Freedom. Gee, what was the other ant's name? What, the one that led the second charge? Yeah. Well, no one ever found out. Seems he died in the fight, son. But you know, I can't help but feel it's better that he was an unnamed hero. It shows that he was a common man just like any other, like you, me, or anyone else, and he made a difference, a big difference, just like you or I can. So, boy, you learned something today, your heritage, and it's something you should be proud of. Just as I'm sure those bullies beat you up are from where they're from, their mistake was that they forgot others have equally fascinating backgrounds and lives, and I think that's something everyone should learn to respect. Me too, Grandpa, me too. Cute piece. Some fun art, clearly overwritten, but this is high schoolers. They're having a good time doing this. Neat little piece. So, moving along. Some more poetry. The Knowledge by T.G. Flippo. I wonder if that's Terry Flippo. Huh, okay. Another cute little piece of short fiction, some more poetry. And you can see we've got some nice spot art. The Tale of Delamere. And it appears to be a fantasy lyric. Quite a long one. Then A Boy in His Box. Okay. The strange page, a day in the life, my memories. A little more spot illustration. That almost looks like Matt's work. And then miscellaneous kind of stuff. And the rag came from the Student Center at Colby College. Looks like people have moved on to college. Or in Worcester, Mass. There you go. So these were people from Worcester who were going to Colby. And then a really nice closing piece. I love all the hatching and the shading on this. That is really well done. Okay, so that's the rag. Rough, yes. 80s photocopier grade, oh, definitely. Well-intentioned, absolutely. Filled with passion and the beginnings of experience. That's the rag, a vehicle for self-expression. Thank you so much for watching FANZine Live, everyone. This is Tom. I hope you have a great day, and I will catch you